Right back. Sorry, gotta plug something in. All right, so here we are, Friday, December 16th. Sorry about that. We have London about to close. We've had a little bit of news for the day, but nothing important for the dollar. So let's go back and digest news this week. So, U.S. raised interest rates 50 basis points. They announced that they see the rates peaking at like 5.1 or something and can stay in that way through 2024, which seems unrealistic. Like they're going to raise it 60 points from where it's at and then not do anything for the next 2 years. So that was Wednesday. Thursday, everyone else raised interest rates 50 basis points, meaning Switzerland, England, and the euro. Our core retail was down. Retail in the UK was down. Today, some manufacturing numbers. Looks like the euro published their final CPI, which for some reason is not red, so it must be something other than their actual normal way the CPI is published, and it's at 10%, which is crazy. So that's our news. Next week, we have a really light news week. Japan's going to issue their statement for their rates. Tuesday, nothing. Wednesday, tiny bit. Thursday, GDP, that's it. So overall, next week is a pretty good news week. So stuff is continuing down, which sucks. We still got 2 minutes till London closes. Yesterday, there was fairly significant candles when London closed, especially on GU. I know that's not a pair we have up, but still a good bit of movement. I'm definitely going to be more interested in EU than US30 today. So I'm going to move this guy just down below yesterday's lows. Right at yesterday's lows, just to mark them for me. Man, we're not far. 7 pips. Well, we've got 15 seconds. Let's wait. The way that London has been closing is we usually get a little break in volume for a minute. and then price continues on. All right, London's closed. What have I drawn here? That's more like it. Let's see where we get. See if price on either of these guys wants to see if price wants to do anything at all. You know we'll get some momentum because it's London closing. We always do. It's just a matter of how long. Yesterday we waited a long time. I mean, I think yesterday I probably streamed for coming up on 30 minutes waiting on price to move. So I like that we've had a little bullish candle here. I'm going to go ahead and set up a sell. If we come just above that. That'd be decent. So just to review, what we're looking for is we're looking for price to consolidate in the last hour of London and for it to start to move with some momentum as London closes. One of the ways that I look for that is to look for a range break. So basically just taking that last hour, turning it into a range, and then looking for price to break beyond that. The range break isn't always that tidy. Sometimes trading to the extreme of the range is more appealing, but today, I mean, what are you going to do? Like, it's with the EU, price has closed at the extreme of the range. It closed at the low. And so there's not much we can do other than wait for it to move. Wait for it to break that. You know, you probably could look up here and try and find a trade off of some of these wicks, but that would put me sitting down trading at a time that I'm not really available or that I can't be fully engaged. So maybe we'll get a little retracement here. Honestly, just currency wise, I don't know what I'd prefer. We're definitely a long way off of the lows that we created a few months ago on the dollar pairs, mainly pound and euro. Pound was near parity, which is just crazy. The euro went below parity. I was in Europe when that happened, so not complaining at all. And sometimes the volume, not sometimes, typically the volume does take a minute, but not always. So we sit here. I don't know how people like Raja sit here for so many hours. I guess they get people commenting and then just talk about nothing. Or, not nothing. They just read the comments and interact with them. But I'm just here talking to myself. Checking out my other accounts, seeing how everything did today. My trading is definitely a mix of manual trading, which you see here, EAs, and then, which I manage. I don't just let them run 24/7. Like this week, because of all the crazy news and the end of the year, I think I let the EAs run Sunday, Monday, and then turned them off. But I'm constantly helping them manage. On days when they have small losses, I'll often help them gain that back. So it's not like a set and forget EA by any stretch of the imagination. And then 2 copy trade services, 3 that I use. One of them's probably a bit of a scam. Seems like it might be doing arbitrage, but not certain. All the trades run for at least 3 seconds, which probably meets the broker's minimum. But it's hard to tell what they're doing. So I've got money spread out in a number of different strategies, which feels more similar to traditional investing than just straight being a day trader. I don't want to have. I wish I was a good enough manual trader to keep all my eggs in this basket, but I just don't feel confident enough with that. Kind of price not really moving. We're in a short because it poked its head out of that range. Miss MT5. I like it so much more. Got a new 5-minute candle. It's pretty similar to what we did yesterday, honestly. Which is not fun. I'd prefer to not be losing money. But sometimes you lose. So we're still forming a little range down here. Like so. That was weird. Let's get this box out. We're going to make that our trade range. And our mechanism for exiting as well. So we're in a short on EU based on that candle right there that broke out of the range that I've drawn. I hate how these candles look. Back to normal. Volume will come in here at some point and make a decision. Yeah, Daniel, I hear you. I just hate charting in MT4. Everything else I do is in MT5 other than these funded accounts, and I keep all the funded accounts in MT4 because I never know when I'm going to pop an EA on them, because my EA that runs on EU on 1 minute is just fantastic. I say fantastic. It doesn't make tons of money. It just makes fairly slow, steady money. And so if I put my accounts in MT5, then I'm having to copy trades in, and then I'm having to deal with explaining to the funding service why I'm copying trades. So it's easier to just keep it in MT4 and deal with this every now and then. My personal accounts that I trade on are always MT5, but this is funded with leveled up, I think. So hopefully what happens here is we retrace a bit. We're still well below our 1% stops on this. All right, as we move back down, I'm going to add in another position. And honestly, anything in profit coming back down to the bottom of this range will probably take me out profit-wise. I'm not looking to make a ton. Honestly, I'm just looking to stay steady with streaming more than I am to make a little bit of money. Yeah, I probably need to switch over to a headset. I've got everything. I've got my mic turned all the way up. The one thing I could probably do is turn music. Yeah, I mean, I've got everything all the way up. I probably just need to switch over to an actual headset or run my mic through an actual preamp so that I can control it. I'd rather run through a preamp than wear a headset. Wearing a headset feels like I need a neck beard, and then to actually just embrace the fact that I've been in IT for 20 plus years. I don't know. So the dollar has really moved around this week. Let's pull up DXY. So we started, actually we're almost where we started the week. So our weekly is going to be slightly bearish. But still a pretty nice wick on that. After multiple weeks of decent bearish momentum, maybe we'll turn around a bit. It'd be great if we could close above last week's high, but that may be wishful thinking. I'll play around with the mic after the stream. I mean, I'm on a Mac, and so actually, you know what? Is that any better? I didn't have it all the way up. I thought I stinking did. I had the volume only halfway up on the mic. So let's see how that does now. I'm definitely getting back towards, my levels on the mic are a lot higher now. All right, coming back down. Thanks, Daniel. Thanks for joining. All All right, we appear to be headed up. All right, just took out my... So, yeah, now I'm dealing with probably fan noise from my Mac. I can't win. I know why people wear headsets. All right, so if this candle breaks its own high, we're just going to hop out of these positions. There we go. Man, that sucks. But I guess this is what I was hoping for on the dollar, because honestly, I'm in one of my copy services is in fairly significant longs on GU. And so ultimately, I do want the dollar, the DXY to head back up. Just sucks losing on this trade. That's definitely the volume that we've been looking for. I think this mic has a normal output. Yeah, it's got a balanced output, so I could do a little preamp. Maybe I'll look into one of those and see if I can't get a little bit better sound. All right. Well, this sucks. All right, so I'm right at 1%. Still hate to take this loss. Knowing that we often have momentum and then a complete reversal when London closes. If we push up beyond the third leg, all right, we're going to drop one more position and take it out to 2% and then close down. That'll take this account back to scratch. Man, I certainly do miss the market in October, November when it had follow through and momentum. Now you just get wild moves. Wonder what US30 did. It broke down. And it definitely gave 10 points, which is what I go for. 10 to 15 is what I go for on US30. All right, so maybe we found the little top here. We're definitely back up into some support turned resistance. So looking back, as soon as this thing wicked below and then came back up, and we basically never closed below this line right here, I should have cut out. But now I feel like I'm forcing my bias on the market and going a percent beyond where I had hoped to go. This mic is so sensitive. I'm like sitting here tapping my fingers and I can see it picking them up. I don't know. Maybe a headphone would be easiest. All right, what's the dollar doing? Pound's coming up slowly. What's the euro dollar gonna do? So we got our break even down here, 106, almost 106 flat, 10603. So the question is, how do we catch this candle? We broke up. We retested a little bit, and then we broke above. So I guess that break above right there would have been the trade. But at that point, I had already set my bias because of that little wick. I can definitely see that waiting longer past 8:30, more like, I mean, these are 5-minute candles, so more like 8:45. Yeah, that was the 8:50 candle, my time. Would be good. I feel like, though, not modifying my trading strategy based on what I see in December, not modifying it long term based on what I see in December is smart. Let's let the middle of January roll around and then start to assess then. Because I don't think you can base anything on anything in December. December's just madness, typically. With, I don't know why. I mean, I guess banks and institutions are ending their yearly positions or their balance and stuff at the end of the year. I don't feel like people are on holiday in the middle of the month. Maybe just end of the year and people aren't wanting to. I don't know. You probably got just as many people willing to make up losses for the year than you do people not wanting to risk profits. I don't know. Yeah. I don't know what the reason for December being so weird is. I understand the summer because you genuinely do have people on vacation or holiday a lot more. But in December, right, like you're back after Thanksgiving and you work basically through right before Christmas. And then I understand being off the last week of the year, but I guess it's just people not wanting to get into much at the end of the year. I guess for position traders, they care how yearly candles form and end, blah, blah, blah. As a day trader, could care less how the yearly candle ends, other than how it affects my pocketbook. Which really what I care about more is how does it affect my wife's business or people spending money. Because I'll keep spending money almost no matter what. But I know not everyone is the same way. All right, we're getting up close to that 2%. Looks like it'll come right at the high side of this range. Right here. I see all these moves that happen during London, pre-New York, and I definitely love living in the mountains on the West Coast, but man, the time zone for the East Coast or even Western Europe would sure be nice. I can obviously wake up early. My risk management is atrocious when I wake up in the morning. I don't wait for trades. I just wake up and enter a position, and I've done this long enough that I know how I behave. I just wake up and enter positions within a few minutes of waking up, which is just so dumb. Even when I sit on a stream with like Raja and watch what he trades, I still manage to take dumb trades, even watching trading along with other people. My brain just is not switched on very well at that point in the day. So after today, I'm going to call it wraps for the year on trading manually. I'll keep my EAs running. But for the year, for streams, I'm going to be done. I just would like to keep, I've got about a $3,000 or $4,000 payout coming across my funded accounts once January rolls around, and so I think I'm just going to make preserving those wins my strategy for the rest of the year, which means sitting on my hands, which means don't be in the office at this time, don't even be at a computer at this time. I had some funded accounts back in, I don't know, the beginning of the year, middle of the year, and I had worked up to a decent profit. I had worked up to a pretty decent profit, like 20 plus in payouts from, I think, my Forex funds. And I actually deleted the accounts for MetaTrader from my phone as well. And then I had a friend and I sent him the passwords to the accounts and then deleted all of my emails associated with the account, so that if I was going to get the password, I was actually going to have to either email him and ask him for it, or go into my Forex funds and request a reset. The whole goal with that was to preserve those wins. And I did. And he gave me those accounts back a little while later, as soon as I got the payouts. I currently have, I think, 700,000 or 800,000 in funded accounts, and this is the only one that I touch manually. Well, I mean, I said earlier, sometimes I help out if the EA suffered a small loss, because I don't like seeing red days on my FX book. So sometimes I'll help it out, but for the most part, the EAs just run. That EA on, and I avoid big news, but man, the stuff I run on EU and gold on the 1 minute chart tends to just be really nice and steady. But it does require management. I turned it off this week. My buddy did not turn it off this week, and I think he lost 30% on one account because of it. The amount of news this week just wasn't worth it for me. And I won't sleep at night well. Like, even with those GU longs that one of my copy trade services in, I didn't, when it scaled into a position that big, as significant. I woke up thinking about it. It actually came into one of my dreams, which is terrible. I hate when my day invades my dreams. I was a home builder years ago, and it was just nonstop dreaming about homes. I kept a notepad next to my bed, and I would I would do brain dumps, but I just couldn't keep my day out of my night. Oh boy. Well, we're above that range now. We are knocking on 2%. There's our 2%. All right, gonna call that a day. That's a crappy loss. But we'll learn from it. Mostly quit trading in December, so no more for the rest of the year. And man, gotta watch those candles that don't close below. So, all right.